Yeah. Yo, here we go. This is it. Welcome to In the Paint live stream yard. Here we are. We got tonight the NBA playoffs. Our preview. Of course, the NBA is playing in a bubble out there in Florida. So first of all, my name is Rodney Jones. I'm your host slash moderator. Joining me is the man that created the show, Mr. Mark A. Cunningham, also known here as Max 611, aka DJ Groove Killer. Let me stop. What's going on, brother?
What's up, bro?
Ain't nothing.
How are
Another
you?
day. I'm chilling. Everything is good so far. I can't complain, man. Everything is all right. Just here, talking some sports. Gonna have some fun. I'm not donning
sir.
my ball caps like I normally would today.
Oh, that's why you look so different.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I probably look more darker because I have that ball cap on. So I said, let me just take that crap off. And right now, we're going. Good evening, brother Ronan Black. Thank you for checking us out. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Good looking. We're gonna bring our brothers into the fray right here. One, we got my man Chandler. Thanks, Chandler, for joining us tonight.
What's up, fellas? Can y'all
All
hear
right.
me all right?
Yeah,
Little
everything's
echo,
good. Everything's suavemente. You know what I mean? And also
up,
joining us, we got my brother Dominic, representing NC, North Carolina in the house. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in, brother. You there, Dom?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
I can hear you. Yeah, so we got just the this is Max 611's lane. He's gonna be flying high because we're talking about b-ball.
yo.
That's his lane, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? He loves it. I'm not mad at that. So the first thing we're gonna talk about. Matter of fact, hold on for a second. I'm sorry, I gotta get all this stuff together here. Pardon me. We're gonna go into the Eastern Conference. Pardon me for a second, if you don't mind.
And I got my notes ready.
What's that again?
I got my notes ready. I'm ready.
That's what I keep referring to over here as well. So pardon me if you see me glancing over from time to time. We're gonna talk about the Eastern Conference. The opening round. We got 1 versus 8. Milwaukee Bucks going against the Orlando Magic. I gotta tell you off the bat, this is gonna be a 4. It's gonna be a sweep. It's gonna be a sweep for the Bucks against Orlando. Let's just face it, Milwaukee's got too much talent, especially in this opening round going against the 8th seeded Orlando Magic. You know what I mean? So it's not gonna be too much of a shocker. I don't see any upsets. It's just gonna be, a brief appearance for the Orlando Magic. That's all. Let's keep it real. It's gonna be a revolving door. Okay, you're in, now you're out. That's all. And it's gonna go just like that. It's gonna be fast. There's nothing, no competition, no heavily contested games like that with these two teams. Right. 4 games to none. That's it. I'll let you guys expound on it some more.
Well, first of all, Giannis the Freak is gonna do his thing, and they got to step up some of his teammates. Like Eric Gordon needs to step up. Chris Middleton, they need to be better. Milwaukee, obviously, they had one of the best records in the NBA this season. And like you said, Rodney, it's I don't see Markelle Fultz and Nikola Vucevic. And the rest of the Orlando Magic really competing with them, and it'll probably be 4-1.
You gonna give Orlando 1 game? Wow.
They playing in Orlando, so they got to get at least 1.
Okay, so the hometown home court advantage per se. Okay, I can dig it. I'm still gonna stick with my 4-0 prediction, man, because Orlando doesn't have anything for. I'm sorry. It is what it is. That's why the Bucks are seeded number 1 for a reason. You understand? You have the reigning, or should I say, defending MVP in Giannis, and it's just too much talent. You got him, Chris Middleton, It's just too much. And also, let's not forget about the defensive play of what's amazing, Robin Lopez.
And Brooke. Robin and Brooke.
And Brooke, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? So let's not, whatever. I'm just saying, you can't, or should I say Mr. Lopez? How about that? That plays for the Bucks. His defensive effort. So they have nothing for them. No return fire.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Peace, brother Holla. Peace, man. You know? Tried to invite you last time, but I wasn't looking to get him. But guys, let's go to Dom and Chandler and see what's happening. You know, what their opinions on this particular matchup.
That's a sweep, guys. I'd like to say they're gonna get one win, but nah. They might have even hurt the Magic by having them play in this bubble.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have enough. But
right.
Depending on who Milwaukee plays in the next round,
mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna be no breeze. I'll tell you that. So they better warm up. And I don't think that the Greek Freak's gonna develop a jump shot between now and then. So I hope they enjoy it because they're not going to the finals.
Right. Nah.
Nah. Sorry.
I hear you.
I don't trust Milwaukee. Now they're gonna win the series, but I don't trust Milwaukee to sweep the way they're supposed to. They're supposed to make quick work of Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched Milwaukee lose games they're not supposed to lose. We watched them let teams hang around that shouldn't hang around. I mean, hell, they lost to the Nets before the Nets really got on the roll. Okay, when the Nets were playing basically me, you, Don, Mark, and the homeless guy that was sleeping at the bus shelter. Okay, and they lost to the Nets. So I don't trust. And not for nothing, Giannis makes poor decisions at ends of games. He makes really poor decisions. So I think they're going to give Orlando at least one game, and there's going to be another game that's closer than it should be. They're going to win the series, but they're not going to come out of the series looking like, oh, the Dom. It's going to be, whereas this should be a series where it's basically everybody should be on the bench, and they should be looking ahead to the second round by halftime of the third game. But that's not what's going to happen.
The scary thing about Milwaukee, guys, if you track them earlier in the year, while their players were putting up good numbers, they were sitting a lot because a lot of their games weren't close in the fourth quarter. You look at the numbers they were putting up per minutes they were playing. After Orlando, guys, that ends. They're going to be in some games. So now it's time for them to, you look at the numbers. You look at Greek Freak's minutes he averaged this season, and you go back to when they was on that roll. Remember, these guys weren't hardly playing any of the fourth quarter, so they never really had that clutch game. They had some, don't get me wrong, but they was breezing, guys. If y'all could go back, 4-6 months ago. I know that's kind of hard for us because we haven't seen it in so long, but that was the big thing. What are they going to do in crunch time? Because they weren't in very many close games. So Orlando, that's not the problem. It's the next round between Miami and Indiana that they're going to have to step it up, whoever they play. I mean, don't sleep on Indiana. They got to where they're at for a reason. And Miami, we know what Miami is. So it's going to be tough for them, guys. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk that people think that they're just going to breeze to the conference finals. I don't see it.
Wait, you know what Milwaukee's problem is? They don't close out on threes good. And if you let certain teams sit out there and take threes and make them, and they're taking wide open threes, the guys on the perimeter, Eric Gordon and Middleton, they have to be better. Defensively, they got to close out on people, and they don't do that well. So that's their biggest problem. And 4-1.
4-1?
4-1. All
right.
Yeah, 4-1. Milwaukee.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Bishop? I see you. How you doing tonight, man? Bishop is like, what's up, Bishop? You there? You hear me?
What's going on, fella?
What's going on? There he is. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Yeah, so I mean, you already know Huh? You already know my perspective on the Bucks. The Bucks are the greatest. They're the greatest regular season team because they're playing. They win the games that they're supposed to win.
Okay.
In the playoffs, when the defense kind of like ramps up and Giannis can't go from one end of the court to the other, get a running start, and drive to the basket from the half court line, take his 2 steps and dunk on people and so forth. They're ineffective. So I don't know like what their coach is doing. I mean, to me, it's like that offense should be predicated on a 1-2 punch. Giannis and Middleton.
Yeah.
And then everybody else feeds off of that. But they never.
And Gordon also.
It's like they never developed Middleton to the point where it's like when Giannis is off the court. When Giannis is off the court or when Giannis is having a bad game, Middleton is exploding and handling his business. It's just like and they overpaid Bledsoe. It's like he's not even a good fit for that team. They overpaid him.
Yeah.
He can't hit jump shots. He gets into this mode where if he's not scoring, he just gets like with horse blinders on. It doesn't matter what's going on with the team. I got to get mine.
Right.
And that throws the whole chemistry. That throws the whole chemistry off. And I'm really not. To me, it's like I'm. Giannis is a great athletic guy, but I'm really not sold that he's ready to take a franchise to that next level. And when they played Boston, I think Dominic. I was just choosing anybody except for the Bucks when I sent you that message. Miami, Boston, and Toronto, they all play harder.
Right.
And Milwaukee doesn't play hard like that, so they're not coming out of. They're going to be like the biggest flop, the best record in the league, and don't make it out of the conference.
I'm a numbers guy, guys. So I looked it up. He only played like 30 minutes a game. Shot 55% from the field, 30% from 3, and only 63% from the foul line. That's
Giannis?
scary again. Going down, Giannis. That's scary again, guys. Going down the stretch of games where you're going to the basket because that's basically all he does. He's going to get fouled. Let's just be honest. Or they're going to foul him because of those numbers I just gave you. So he's going to have to do something other than go to the basket and dunk. We've known this, guys. Come on. The Toronto Raptors came up with the ultimate formula last year, and people were watching. We were watching, and we're just, 5 average guys. So the NBA was watching.
Right. Exactly. You want to move on to the next series?
The key to stop them is just to wall Giannis off. That's the key to stopping him. Don't allow him to get the running start once he gets past half court.
Exactly what Toronto did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
any team can do that. Boston can do that.
Yeah.
Boston can do that. Miami can do that. You don't even have to have a big out there. You can put a guard out there. You can put a guard out there and make sure he doesn't get a running start.
Right. Well, it's funny you mentioned how Dominic, you mentioned about Toronto. We're going to talk about that series with them and the Nets. 2-7. Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a Brooklyn guy. I don't live in Brooklyn, never have. Well, actually, I did, but that's a long story.
Too bad for you.
But, I'm going to be
Too bad for you.
Nets. I'm going to be rooting for the Nets. That's my squad in the NBA. I don't care. I've been riding with them for a while now, a little bit of time. Since I'm not doing the Knick thing anymore. Sorry, I just can't. But against Toronto, it's going to be very difficult. I understand that. The way they've been playing so far in the bubble has been pretty good. I can't lie, with their depleted roster. You got to give them credit. They're doing their thing. But fortunately, it's going to end at the hands of Toronto. Toronto's, I believe they're the number 1 top team defensively during this bubble period and whatnot. And that's something I kind of wanted to address. People are saying that the game is changing, but at some point, especially during the playoffs, you need to have defensive stops. To me, that's very important in order to win or compete heavily for a championship. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Maybe I'm bringing that old school mentality back of basketball, but I still believe that defense is a significant key in winning a championship. So the Nets, they just don't have the firepower. I mean, Karis LeVert, he's doing his thing. He's playing well. I always like Karis, but yeah, it's gonna be a short series for them. For Brooklyn, unfortunately, I see it 5 games, maybe 6. I think 5 is more realistic, and Toronto is going to come out of that series a winner.
Ooh.
I think the Nets, the Toronto Raptors, they forced Karis LeVert to be a facilitator just to see if he had it in him.
Mm-hmm.
They proved that he had it in him. They still blew him out. So I think next game they'll put somebody on them and just shut him down.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they shut him down, that's it. That's it for the Nets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they're getting swept, are.
Yeah, once they shut him down, that's it.
Yeah, they probably had their best spurt in the third quarter.
Right.
Cut a 30-point lead to like 7 or 8, and they still lost by 20-something.
Right.
Yeah.
Toronto, again, by numbers, they are the best defensive team in the league. They give up the least amount of points. Their 3-point defense is outstanding because they're long, they're athletic.
Exactly.
I kept telling people, take away Kawhi, take a half of Anunoby, the guy I kept talking about, and a half of Siakam, and you made up Kawhi Leonard. This kid Anunoby was supposed to be Siakam before Siakam. So they didn't miss nothing. And again, they're still long. They're still athletic. They still go out there against the 3. So, and the Nets, God bless them. They got this far, but they're basically playing a G League team, guys. Let's just be honest. They're going to get swept.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to still give them 1 game out of hope.
Yeah. Hope and a prayer.
I'm trying to ride hard for them, but I sadly I do know the reality of a sweep does exist. I'm just hoping we can get 1 or 2 games.
So in other words, you're willing to accept the beatdown just as long as you get a chance to scratch it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what you do? I scratched him on his arm.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's gonna be a L. It's gonna be a L. Brooklyn's gonna take a L. Toronto.
Okay, we know that. We're just talking about how many games are gonna take, brother Mac.
4.
Mac.
Sweep City. Mac. Sweep City. Yes.
You going against your coach, Jack Vaughn? What?
Yeah, right.
Coach who?
Look at his face.
Jack Vaughn.
Jack who?
Well, you know what? Hold on. Check this out. Not only that, but here's the thing. Mac, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. Don't you represent East New York, Brooklyn?
Yeah, but I don't represent the Nets.
No,
the Nets ain't from Brooklyn.
Where is your
Nets aren't from Brooklyn.
Where is your Brooklyn loyalty, man? When they say Brooklyn, you're supposed to be part of that. You understand? So
How?
we got to take your Brooklyn card. Your card has got to be revoked. Okay, because you are straight from East New York.
How? They still have the stench of New Jersey on them.
It don't matter. It's where they are now. All that past shit don't matter. It's where they at now. They in Brooklyn. You got to represent that.
And if Jack Vaughn,
Brooklyn, I know what my allegiance would be to. And
if Jack Vaughn is the coach, they aren't going anywhere. And hold on, James. Toronto has too many bigs. Lowry, Van Vliet on the outside. They got too many long defenders. It's just a mismatch. And Karis LeVert and Joe Harris won't be able to do much.
Yeah. Well, all right, I hear you. Missing a voice. Where's Mr. Chandler? You all right out there, brother?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I thought they could get 2 games, but I keep forgetting that the roster that they're running out there. because they do play hard. But I kind of want them to get swept, and I want them to get embarrassed so Jock Vaughn doesn't have a shot at getting this job. So I mean, it's kind of two things. Like I'd like to see them get 2 games because I like the roster. I like the way those guys are playing. I like some of the younger guys that are playing TLC and Cheese and those kids. I like the growth I'm seeing in them. But I also need them to get totally embarrassed so Jacques Vaughn has no shot at keeping this job.
Damn. Jesus Christ. Jeez.
Don't hold back.
I'm in agreement.
We know
Jacques
that
Vaughn
already.
is in a good coach.
We know that. We know you. We know your hatred for Jacques Vaughn. That's very apparent. You know. So damn, I can't catch a break here. Shit. No one wants to give the Nets 1 game, and I understand your reasoning, Chandler. And I gotta tell you, it makes sense. I'm not gonna lie to you, but still, I'm still hoping, man. I'm just hoping. You know, maybe they'll
What are
do
you
well
hoping
and fire
for?
his ass anyway. You know, who knows?
Hope springs eternal. Are
Yes. Stop using my line, by the way.
Just
Stop
think
using
about
my
this.
line. Okay, stop it. That's my line. Okay, I made that up.
Just think about this. Just think about this. They got blown out, and the dude, the superstar for Toronto, didn't even have a good game.
Yeah. Well,
And-
Pascal, right?
Pascal didn't have a good game, and Serge Ibaka was on clearouts. Missing
All right.
shots
Okay.
and getting putbacks.
Yeah. I feel you, brother.
And they still scored about 135 points, 134 to be exact.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I guess that answers my next question because I saw something, an article talking about if Siakam can't like shoulder the burden on the offensive end, which I think was kind of ludicrous for them to say anyway. But they just questioned it. They said, "Well, can this guy carry the burden offensively?"
He doesn't
But it's
have
a
to.
team.
No, exactly, Chandler.
Yeah, he doesn't have. He doesn't
Mhm.
have to. They have too many players, too many
Right.
offensive weapons. You got Kyle Lowry, you got him, you got Van Vliet, you got Marcus Saul, you got Serge Ibaka, you got Powell. Anybody on that team can get 20 points if they want them to,
Right.
and if they consistently feed him the ball. And Siakam doesn't dominate the ball; he plays within the flow of their offense. And it's not like taking 30 shots a night. He's very efficient. So anybody and their offense is spread the wealth offense. Everybody gets a lot of touches. Some nights Van Vliet goes off. Some nights, Kyle Lowry will go off. Some nights it's Siakam's night to go off. So they got a nice flowing offense, and they play defense and they rebound. It's a wrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just think about what they did. I mean, I know they were playing the Nets. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Chandler.
No, go
Chandler,
ahead. Go ahead and finish.
No, I was going to say, you look at that oxymoron Ron heard, but their starting 5 scored 91 points. 91 points.
Right.
They're that real weird team that goes against what everybody says, that one go-to guy. You got to have that one go-to guy.
They got multiple go-to guys.
Yeah, I think they're breaking the mold.
I guess so.
They're breaking the mold on a lot of things, like defending the 3.
Right.
And everybody's it's so balanced. I mean, you got that kid I told you about at Novi, scored 12 points, only 12 points, but he only shot 8 times.
Right.
And your leading scorer was Van Fleet with 30.
Right.
And then some kid, Ibaka gets 22 points off the bench. That's hard to measure up to, guys. Never mind Brooklyn. We could forget Brooklyn. We could scratch Brooklyn. I'm talking about going forward. Nothing against Brooklyn, please.
Right.
They're just way overmatched.
I got a question for y'all. Van Vliet is going to be a free agent, and on Twitter it seems the Knick fans are in love with him. Do you pay him?
No.
Go ahead, Chan. Go ahead, Chandler.
No.
Not saying the Knicks need to pay him, but does any other team need to pay him, or should Toronto keep him?
Toronto needs to keep
Because-
him.
Yeah.
Because he
Right.
fits what they do. I'll put it like this.
Right.
It's best for his career to stay in Toronto. It might be best for his pockets to go somewhere else. Okay.
Right. I agree.
For his career, Toronto is the spot because it's a perfect fit. You know, he can be a star without having to be the star. And that's what I was going to say earlier.
Right.
This narrative that they're trying to drive around Siakam, or can he carry the load? It's designed so they can start tearing people down. But Toronto is the antithesis of that because there's no one guy you can stop. Okay, you stop Gasol. There's 4 other dudes dropping 25 on him. You stop this guy. There's 5 other guys dropping 21. So what are you going to do? But Van Vliet, listen, I don't see him fitting well like he does in Toronto, except maybe in a Boston, maybe. But other than that, I don't see him really fitting anywhere else.
Boston already has players that play his position, so they don't need him.
And I was getting ready to say that, Mark. When you go through the league, first of all, nothing against Lowry, but he got one foot on the banana peel and the other one out the door, just strictly father time.
Yeah,
I'm not saying his skill set, just his age. But you go around the league where point guards have been, other than the Knicks. If he does sign with anybody, guys, he's going to end up going to one of those teams. A Charlotte, who just signed Rozier.
Right.
Philly. I could see him fitting in with Philly if they get rid of Simmons' contract. That's hard. The spots that he could go to replace somebody, the salaries are.
Well, you know what, Dom? I think he would. I think salary wise, he wouldn't fit Philly because they already paying a gang of load. Everybody, all 4 of their starters make over 100 million. So
yeah, but don't get it twisted, guys. That's another false narrative. Everybody's paying the luxury tax, guys. I think we forget we fail to realize that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mark.
Right. I was going to say that stylistically, he would be a piece that they need. They need a guy who can hit threes. They need a guy who can make some plays off the ball, which he can do, and he can make plays on the ball. And he's a very good 3-point shooter. So he would fit Philly. But
you can move salaries around. And like I said, I looked this up one year when everybody was complaining about, this one don't spend money, that one don't. Why is this team so good? Check the tax they're paying. Everybody's paying. Right. The teams that aren't that good, i.e. the Knicks, Charlotte, they're not paying. Serious, they're just not paying. Golden State was paying. The Rockets were paying. Even the Clippers were paying until they dumped Griffin and Jordan, and now they're still paying because they're paying Leonard and George. So everybody's paying. It's just how much do you want to pay? But again, if the Sixers were to somehow unload Simmons' contract, I mean, the better question is, Mark, is he a max player? I don't think so. I don't think he's a max salary guy.
No,
he's not right now.
No.
So Philly might be able to slot. I don't know, Chandler. I don't know. I think people probably want to just see a little more. That's all, because he's in a great system right now. How does he fit outside that system?
I think he would fit well with the Bucks too, because they don't really have a point guard.
The Bucks?
They don't really have a point guard. So he can hit threes, he can run the pick and roll, he can set up Giannis so that Giannis doesn't have to do a lot. He can set Middleton up so that, and he can kick it out. He can get everything that Giannis is doing as far as setting up teammates for offense. That's what he would do. And he would also give you the bonus of being a consistent shooter from the outside.
True.
And Bledsoe does not give you that, but then you have to get rid of Bledsoe.
Yeah. Now who's going to take that?
And his bad contract.
Right.
And his bad attitude.
Right. I got a comment from our people people in the chat room. Thank you for checking us out tonight. Also, let me just add, if you wish to join us live here with us, just shoot us your email. We'll send you the link. You can link up with us here on in the paint, the live stream. But let me just give this comment from my brother Ronan. This is in regards to Van Vliet. He said if says if Van Vliet leaves Toronto, he could possibly end up like Howard Isley, a bust. Isley was in a perfect system in Utah behind Stockton. Came to New York and he was whack. What do you guys thoughts on that?
Or somebody most recent, JJ Barrera. When JJ Barrera first left Dallas and he went to another team, you saw that he was a small guard. You saw that he wasn't really fast. He wasn't athletic. Not comparing him to Van Vliet, but his blemishes became more apparent.
Yeah.
And then when you went back to Dallas, he went back into the system that he was familiar with, in which he excelled in, which hid all his blemishes. Ronan is right in that Van Vliet is a smallish guard. He's not particularly athletic. He is a solid shooter, and he's an okay ball handler. And he works hard.
Right.
But I don't see him excelling somewhere unless he goes to a team that's going to use him the way Toronto uses him.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
You know what they say, some guys that to whom much is given, much is required. Sometimes it don't work. Ronan gave a good example. There's a million examples out there. I mean, a lot of the guys we thought would be star point guards on the Knicks, what happened? Look at great example, Trey Burke. This kid was the hottest thing since high school, hottest thing in college. He won everything. High school player of the year, college player of the year, got them to the Final Four. The whole, he covered every base. But when that responsibility was given to him in the NBA, now he's a role player, if that.
Yeah,
and I like Trey Burke. Nothing against him. He was a hell of a talent, guys. Serious. Look him up one day. This guy checked every box leading to the NBA. But when he got there, and he was on the Knicks.
Right.
My bad.
The wrong way. But Van Fleet, didn't he play himself into the starting lineup?
Yeah.
He's Kyle Lowry's backup.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry's backup. He played himself into the starting role. So, I mean, he fits in well with what they're doing in Toronto. But if he went to a team where he could be like that extra piece, where they weren't requiring him to be like a mainstay, where it's like, we banking on you giving us this 20 points and 10 assists a night. If he was able to go to a team like Milwaukee, where he could just pretty much like cherry pick, hit them opportunity baskets, run that pick and roll, because I'm like, with a talent like Giannis, I'm like, how many times do they run a pick and roll in a league that's a pick and roll league?
Yeah.
They don't. Like they don't.
Yeah, it's weird what the. Go ahead, Chandler. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say the problem is because with the money he's gonna get, then of course come the expectation of, well, you're getting all this money now. You, like you said, Bishop. Now he's supposed to be giving them so much a night. Whereas again, a lot of uneducated fans don't realize that just because you paid somebody don't mean that they're supposed to turn into something else. They are who they are as a player. Accept them for who they are.
Right. And it's a weird situation he's in. It's almost like the Pistons with Dumas and Isaiah. You got two guys on your team where Van Fleet at 6 foot and Lowry only at 6'1". At least you got that luxury to say Lowry is the point guard. Whatever, if Van Fleet could fill in for the point guard while he's still out there on the court, that's cool because he got Lowry. You go to a team where you have to be the point guard at 6'1". It's hard. I mean, there's a fit out there for him. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you see what Rubio did in Phoenix. Pure point guard. He improved his game. He learned how to shoot a little better. But he's a pure point guard. Is Van Fleet a pure point guard?
No. He's a guard.
I don't know.
He's a guard.
Right. Exactly. At 6 foot. At 6'1".
You make a good point too. You made a good point in the sense that his deficiencies on defense is covered up in Toronto because you got 4 other guys who are helping out, and you got 4 other guys who is going all out. So it's really hard. Everybody's attached. So if you go to another team where they're gonna be singling you out and clearing it out, and you don't have that help like you got in Toronto, then yeah, he probably ain't gonna look as good.
As great as Kemba Walker is, he faces those challenges every night because of his size, his stature.
Yeah.
You know, he just hurts you on offense so much. And again, he plays on a team where they're very athletic. They got his back. But if you're out there on an island, guys, at 6'1", 6 feet, in today's NBA, I always say that, in today's NBA, where point guards are lighting up the arena, you're going to do some work on defense, and that could hurt your offense. Steph Curry is not the greatest defensive player to ever play point guard. Let's just keep it real. He's not. But he's a nightmare on offense. But he has the backup, or had the backup players when they was on that run. There's a reason Toronto's the number one defensive team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't because of one guy.
No, I hear you. Excuse me, gentlemen. Sorry about that. Let's move on into the next games in the Eastern Conference first round playoffs. Let's go to talk about the Celtics going against the Philadelphia 76ers. Oh, I see. Chandler, you're laughing. I'm going to give you the floor first before I even comment. So go right ahead. You have something that must be juicy. Go ahead, sir.
It's a 5-game sweep for Boston. Okay. Did you watch the game tonight? Joel Embiid didn't want to shoot. They played better when he was off the floor. Al Horford, there was an Al Horford sighting. May have been on a milk carton for how many months? Listen, that's a 5-game sweep. They're going to win one game, because one game Joel Embiid is actually going to show up. He's going to put the Joel off rights down. You know, he's going to put down the Philly cheesesteak. He's going to show up. He's going to give them about 30 and 25. And that's it. They're going to win one game. It's a 5-game sweep. That team is done. That team is done.
Damn. I love it. I love it. I can't. You know what? I couldn't have said it better myself. You know what I'm saying? I think, that I got to tell you, my impressions of this, they're just soft. They're just soft, guys. I mean, I'm not feeling the 76ers. Like, before, I used to really like them. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? The whole trust the process, that era. But, nah. That whole thing is gone. I don't think they're even... You giving them 5 games is that's being nice. To be perfectly honest. I just... You know, I had put out there before, without Ben Simmons, maybe they could pull together as a team. But, no. Especially after that, you described their performance tonight. So no, I don't see it. You know what I mean?
And it was a close game for a while. But here's the funny thing: the Celtics got out rebounded by 7, but had more offensive rebounds. Here's that Kanter factor that we laughed about when he was with the Knicks. Great rebounder, great foul shooter, great offensive rebounder. And then when he was out there with Embiid, I mean, Embiid put up decent numbers. But I'm not going to, I don't want nobody to rewind the tape and they heard me bashing the Sixers last week and now I got them going to the championship. Nah, this may go 5, a gentleman's sweep. But I can't see them going no further than that. It was going to happen, guys. If going by their record, even at the bubble, your road record sucked. Let's just keep it real. So now they're playing the Boston crowd in the background like it's a Boston game, and they just got back into that same mold, guys. They won 9 games on the road all year. You think that was going to change?
The problem with that team, I thought that once Simmons got out of the picture and they got a point guard, that Joel was settled down and settled into who he is as a player in the Eastern Conference. And Tobias Harris and these guys would really get after it. I realized, after watching that game tonight, Joel is just lazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
How are you a starting center?
Right.
You're a starting center. You're the only 7 foot on the court. Your team is down by 5 with 2 minutes left. Your team is down by 5 with 2 minutes left. You're only 7 foot on the court.
Right.
You're on the free throw line, and you can't come up with a rebound off of a missed free throw. A missed free throw that's bumbling around in the air. Somebody takes a shot. Somebody takes a shot in a half-court set. You're down low. Instead of you grabbing the ball and going back up strong, you tapping it like it's volleyball and letting little guys take the rebound from you on 3 or 4 occasions in a crucial point of the game. When you could have just grabbed it and went up and got an and one. It's like, yeah, he's way too soft. And this team is just real disjointed. They don't really have a leader. They got some good pieces. They don't really have a leader. Joel Embiid and Simmons are not leaders. They are these new wave players that just want the accolades. They want people to praise them. They want people to put them on a pedestal, but they're not really willing to do the work.
Right. Well said.
He had a guy come off the bench, that took as many shots as him.
Yep.
What?
Burke had 15 shots. Embiid had 15 shots. And Richardson had the most shots.
Wow.
There was 3 other guys that had as many shots. Not Richardson. There was 3 guys that had as many shots as Joel Embiid. 15.
It's not because he didn't have the opportunities.
Right.
It's not because he didn't have the opportunities. Because when the game was under 2 minutes and they were down by 5, he was on one side of the court on the post. They rotated the ball around. Instead of him coming to the other side,
he stood there
up and get the ball. He stayed over there on the other side.
Yep.
Like Tobias Harris was waiting for him to come post up so he can give him the ball.
Right.
He didn't even rotate over to the other side to get the ball.
And don't forget, Bishop, a lot of that early part of the game, the Celtics did not start Kanter. They started Tice. So he started off the game with an advantage. Yep. And you end up with 15 shots. He should have had 15 shots when Tice was checking him.
Right.
I could see it getting a little tumble. Yeah, I could see it getting a little tumble with Kanter. But you had a mismatch from the tip-off, and you ended the game with 15 shots. Really?
Can I ask you guys a question real quick? I don't know. We might have talked about this before. My memory, is failing on me right now. But has this guy's motor ever been questioned? I'm talking about Joel Embiid.
Yeah. If you listen to
his
NBA radio, they talk about that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been called lazy almost since he really exploded onto the scene, and everybody saw what type of ability he has. And then there were games where he would literally disappear. They've been calling him lazy almost from jump. He was lazy in college. Okay, but he was able to get away with it. And then, of course, with defeat and everything else, everybody kept giving him pass. Oh, he's got to get together. He got to get, he's been out. He has been playing. He has to da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Listen, Joel Embiid is lazy. He need to put the damn fork down.
Remember the guy I talked about, Okafor.
Yes.
From Duke. Had no work ethic in college. And you just identify this in the pros. No. Again, we've seen this movie. Now, another sad thing is, guys, when you go that high in the draft, Markelle Fultz, great example. He's probably going to be a decent player. But because he was drafted number 1, here goes them expectations of him being something he's not.
Yep.
Joel Embiid fits in that category. I mean, again, guys, we could go over this till the cows come home. Look at all the draft picks they had that are gone. And some of them should have been right behind them. Either Simmons or Embiid should have been around the block waiting for them draft picks to go bye-bye and said, I got next.
But Joel Embiid has the talent to be the best player in the league, period. I mean, it shouldn't even be close. That's how talented he is. He can do everything you want at his size. He can put the ball on the floor. He can shoot the ball from outside. He can take you in the post. He has moves in the post, more than one, multiple moves, up and unders, back you down, over the shoulder, over the other shoulder. This dude can play defense. He can rebound. He can block shots.
Yeah.
He's lazy.
That's a damn shame. For all that talent that you possess, and for him to just be lackadaisical, so to speak, and lazy, That makes no sense to me. Now, this is obviously going to be a ongoing problem with this man. I don't see any type of change in him to do that. You understand? To improve his work ethic. Improve his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Because he's had this tag since Chandler said, and you guys probably know already, since college. You understand? My thing is, what does Philly do? Do they have to get rid of? They're gonna have to get rid of him at some point because he's not going to lead them to the promised land.
It's not him. It's not him. It's not him. They got to get rid of that coach. They got to get rid of that coach because now you have a point guard. There's no excuse. You're in a pick and roll. The league, if you're not shooting threes, you're in the pick and roll.
Okay.
If you're not shooting threes, you're in the pick and roll. So now you have a point guard. You have a point guard. That Shake Milton dude is a point guard. He's a legitimate point guard. So why don't you have in your offensive scheme? Why don't you have Joel Embiid and Shake Milton running pick and rolls? Because now they got to respect. They have to respect the shooting ability of the guard. So that means that he gonna have rolls to the basket 1-on-1. And it's like, yo, dude, you don't even come over to set the screen for him. So that's the coach is not forcing you to. They're not putting that as a staple in the offense because you are talented. You're a talented big man. Mm-hmm. You're a really talented big man. So I'm not understanding why the offensive scheme is him getting the ball on the perimeter, doing an up fake, crossing over, putting it between his legs, and then trying to do a step back as a 7-footer, 250 pounds.
Well, 300 pounds, 300.
Well, they have him listed at 250. They have him listed at 250.
Now all that's gonna change because they changed the coach.
No, that means that if they get a coach in there that basically changes the way the offense is set up and starts holding him accountable, because it's like, how many times have you heard Brett Brown pretty much saying, "Hey, we're relying on Joel Embiid to take us to this next level." Dude, you got to be the one to take us to the next level. You have to be the one to take us. He's been like tiptoeing around and approaching both him and Simmons with white gloves. He doesn't want to say anything to offend them. Ben Simmons is light skinned. He doesn't want to say anything that's going to hurt his feelings or whatever. Like, dude, as a coach with these two stars that you paying a boatload of money, that these are supposed to be the staple, the foundation of your team, you got to pretty much put them on blast. It's like, yo, I'm giving you, I'm running my offense through you. So we rise and fall with what you do.
Okay.
I'd love to.
Is that a function of the coach?
See, I was about to ask.
Go ahead, Mac. I'm sorry.
I was about to ask that.
Of course it is. He's the one calling the plays.
But Bishop, I would love to agree with you, but the coaches ain't running the asylum no more. You seen what happened in Brooklyn. You seen what happened in New Orleans. Everywhere you turn, the coach is gonna go. So you could say, okay, I want the coach to do this. And we're in agreement, Bishop. Don't get me wrong. We are in an agreement. But it's just not happening no more in today's NBA. The coach will be the first one to go. Look at what the coach on the Pelicans did. If the Pelicans never went to the bubble, he has a job.
Well, not really.
No,
he
does.
The Nets,
he does.
The Nets was a Kyrie effect. The Nets was the Kyrie effect.
That too. But I'm talking
Kyrie
New Orleans.
and KD effect. That's what the Nets were. And he's not. He's not a good. That coach is not a good fit with all-star players. He's a good fit with ragtag players that he could get to buy into this philosophy of diving for the ball and playing defense on every possession and everybody playing together and playing for each other. And we're in college and the spirit, the team, this and that. You get two superstars, dude, give me the ball and get out of my way.
Yeah, but that's a function. That's the function of management, though. And that's why I always bring management into the GM and the team president, because if they are supporting the coach, right, then that system works and the superstars buy in. And the successful franchises, you see management and the coach are in lockstep. Let's look at Miami as a perfect example.
Yep.
Okay. Eric Spoelstra gonna say what he's saying. If you don't like it, go to Pat Riley. If you want Pat Riley, like, get the hell out of my office. Go listen to what the coach said. Okay. Is that happening in other places like Philly, like New Orleans? My answer is I don't think it is.
It
I
ain't.
don't think it is. So I mean, Brett Brown bears a lot of fault, but I also put a lot of fault on the GM who allowed this nonsense to go on. Because at some point, the GM got to kick the coach in the ass, or the GM got to come in and kick the players' ass. And listen, the coach told you stop eating the damn Joe Law Rice. The coach told you shoot a jump shot. So either shoot a jump shot or sit on the bench.
Okay.
You take what happened in New Orleans, guys. They were 2 games out of the 8th seed. So if they didn't go to the bubble, that was a fine year, considering all the injuries they had, the restrictions they put on Zion. You add all of that stuff in, and what they did in that first year. Ingram came around, Ball came around. But because the GM says we expected, but y'all are also, like Chandler says, the guys behind the scenes saying, hey, only play Zion in 5-minute bursts. The coach ain't come up with that nonsense. Best believe that. The coach did not say, well, I'm going to invent something new this year in the NBA. Bursts. Not load management. Bursts. 5-minute bursts. Got to pull it out. And you expected what, Mr. GM, president? What did you expect? Come on, guys. Again, they was 2 games out of the 8th seed. Well, and they fell apart in the bubble.
When you look at Miami, Pat Riley he's won championships.
Well, you know what? You know what? You know what?
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what?
I was saying, Pat Riley has won championships.
When
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
When you look at New Orleans, the coach wasn't the GM's guy, and that coach always has one good season wherever he's been, and he has 15 losing seasons. He's been a head coach for 15 seasons, and in those 15 seasons, he has 5 winning seasons. The rest are losing. So he has one good year, and then the team implodes, and they are losing. And he wasn't his guy, so he had to go. Alvin Gentry had to go.
Then just say that.
And I had to speak with a brother. I had to speak with a brother when he got fired, who was like he didn't deserve to get fired. I'm like, come on, man. He's a mediocre coach, and gotta go.
Then just say that, Mark. Just say that. Don't say our expectations were and leave it there. What were your expectations?
Right.
What were your expectations? You're playing your number 1 draft pick in burst. Okay? His nutritionist should have been fired before the coach. Let's just be real. Okay? But
you know what you were getting when you drafted him.
He got
exactly when you drafted him.
I don't think he has a nutritionist.
Who drafted him? Who drafted him? That same president and GM that's saying we expected, Bishop,
not the
but
GM.
You fill in the blanks. What did you expect? What did you expect?
Right. You knew you were getting a linebacker. You knew you were getting a linebacker. and you know, and like I said before, he's a great player, but I just don't see how he's going to sustain an 82-game season, 82-game season, plus the playoffs at 285 pounds, 300 pounds, running up and down the court with dudes that is faster than him, that can jump pretty much, maybe not as high as him or not explosive as him, but they can jump pretty.
Yeah, but see, that goes back to the GM again. See, we back to the GM because, and we said this during Summer League, he never should have played Summer League. He should have been sat out. They should have got him on a diet. They should have got him with a nutritionist. They should have got him on a fitness program. Instead, they let his out of shape behind play Summer League. He hurt his knee. He's been out of shape the entire season. And listen, I got no love for Alvin Gentry. I think Alvin Gentry's a clown. I hate Alvin Gentry. I'm glad he got fired. But this is about the management not doing their job. How do you have a 19, 20 years old? How do you have an out of shape 20-year-old as the face of your franchise? How do you have an out of shape 20-year-old as face of your franchise? franchise. How does nobody not know that
20.
this boy is too big? How does nobody not realize he's 300 plus? How do they not know that?
Right. I hear
You-
That's crazy, man.
You ever see him walking off the court? I don't know if you ever caught the angles of him walking off the court.
No.
He looked like he was in pain. Like his body was.
Wow.
And I started thinking, damn, and that's in 5-minute bursts.
Wow.
Because they don't care.
He'll play 82 games in 5-minute bursts. So my only question with their whole organization is when he wasn't playing, what were y'all doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Taking him to Burger King?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't there, guys. I'm just saying. This guy
Using
was
the
out
edge
in
of
the
bed.
summer league. He left the bubble. Every time you seen him disappear, guys, did he not come back bigger?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Just an observation.
Wow. Yeah, that's insane, man. That's insane, brothers. But like I said, good talk on that particular series. Let's go to number 4 against number 5 in the Eastern Conference. That being the Indiana Pacers going against the Miami Heat. I think this is going to be an interesting one, to be perfectly honest. I really do. I'm looking forward to seeing this. TJ Warren, man. TJ Warren. Is he looking like the next Michael Jordan?
Listen, that's going to be the best series. That's going to be the best series, I think. Both those teams are coached well. They play hard. They're similar in size and length, and they got dogs. They got cats that want to fight you over a basket. This is a 7-game series, man. And
Easily.
honestly, I think Indiana wins it. But if Miami wins it, I won't be shocked either way. But this is going 7, and I mean 7 really good games.
Exactly, I'd agree with that because this is when I took a look at the matchups, this is one series I was like, now this one I could tune into and be entertained. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I totally agree with what you're saying with that, Chandler. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, evenly matched. It literally is a 4 and a 5. You understand what I'm saying? It really is.
I think the only way it goes 7, I got Miami. I think the only way it goes 7 is if Oladipo shows some form of what he was, because they need his points. They need his points because Miami's going to run you all over the gym with them youngins. They got guys that come out with their sweatsuit on shooting threes.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, they are shooters, and of course you got my man Jimmy Butler, the alpha dog of all alpha dogs.
Yeah.
That's where I give Miami the edge. I give Miami the edge because of Jimmy Butler, and of course they're coached great. And the funny thing is, guys, everybody knows their role, and they're all young boys. 3 of them have 1 year in the league.
Yeah,
and they're putting up numbers. Nunn, Hero, Duncan. These are rookies.
Right.
That have played the season, lighting up the NBA. I got Miami at 6. I got to go in 7 if Oladipo just shows a glare of what he used to be.
Okay.
And I don't see that happening because he sat too long.
I feel you. My man, the Bishop, let me have some of your views on this Miami going against Indiana.
I got Miami. I got Miami taking it. TJ Warren is kind of like played beyond who he is, and that's cool, but I don't think in a 7-game series, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. And Oladipo, he may give you 15 and 20 points, but he still is nursing that. He's still nursing that injury.
Right.
And it's like even psychologically, he's still nursing it. So, I mean, Indiana is – they stable, but I don't think they're going to beat Miami. Miami just plays too hard. They just play too hard and too gritty.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Go ahead,
both
Dom.
well-coached teams. Both
Right.
of them
Yeah.
got good coaches. They're
Yeah.
very well-coached. I just think, in all honesty, unless these kids, because they're youngins, they freeze up, they just got too much shooting, guys.
Hmm.
They're not big. They're very fast. And they got Jimmy Butler.
And they play
Indiana
deep.
don't have a Jimmy Butler.
And they play deep.
And they play
They play
defense.
deep.
They do play the,
They
And
chase
they're
you all game.
and just like you said, they could shoot the lights out from beyond the arc because they got like a almost 38% field goal percentage from 3-point
Yeah.
land. That's pretty
Yeah.
damn good. I think they're second or third. I think they're second behind what's the other team that shoots well? Utah. You understand? So
And you ain't got to worry about playing none of them kids in 5-minute bursts.
right. That's another thing. That's
Mm.
another thing. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So yo, I gotta take Miami as well. You understand? But I'm taking Miami in 7. You know what I'm saying? Because they're a very good kind of grinded out team. You know what I'm saying? And just like as we said already previously, they play hard. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's gonna lead to their success in this first round series against Indiana. You know?
In these playoffs, because nobody has a home court advantage,
Right.
to me, it's just about the team that's willing to go harder and play dirtier.
True.
And get dirty, That's
True.
who's going to come out on top. That's
Right.
why I say, Indiana, Orlando, Milwaukee, those teams, they haven't. I've never seen them play down and dirty. I've never seen them like when the game gets physical and, they retreat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't see Indiana. TJ Warren, great. He had a great 8 games.
Mm.
He had a great 8 games. I never saw that coming. I'm
No.
sure he never saw that coming.
And I'm sure he didn't.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he didn't either. You know?
With a wounded Oladipo and no Sabonis, that's going to come back to rear its ugly head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sabonis, yeah.
Think about it. Indiana actually had a better record than Miami. But now they're without.
Exactly.
Sabonis.
That's the difference
They're
right
without Oladipo or Oladipo
Right,
playing one. That's a lot. That's a lot to lose, guys, playing a
For
team
sure.
like Miami.
Yeah, and
No
the big man, what's the other big kid? He's good, but he gets in foul trouble like
Miles Turner.
Miles Turner.
And I
Gets in
like him.
foul trouble. Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
athletic.
Foul trouble, like
Oof.
dude, what's
Right.
going on? Like you need to be out there on the court. Like leave the 2 points alone.
But you know what? Now you want to when we talk about kids that came out of school and their body wasn't right, and they really watched it. Miles Turner, look at the shape he's in now compared to when he was in college. It's a totally different body. He's got a totally different body than he had in college. That's what a good organization does. He is so much more agile now than he was in college. It's like he doesn't even look like the same guy.
Wow.
It's hard to imagine as much as we've seen Miles Turner. He's only 24 years old.
Yep.
Damn.
But he's progressed. He's actually checked some of the boxes. I always liked him. He's a talent, like Bishop said. But then again, he's 24. Is his maturity level going to catch up with his talent? We hope so. To be honest, I'm not a Pacer fan. I just happen to like the kid. He's very athletic, and he's always in the game. He's always in the game until he does those stupid fouls, and that's what haunts him.
Right.
He's a Nick killer. That's how I learned about him. He was a Nick killer.
Right.
Like, who is this kid? At that time, he was like 19.
I'm gonna have to start liking him just based off of that.
He's got a pretty good package. He's got a pretty good package. He can shoot the three. He can put it on the floor. He can shoot the jump shot. He drives the basket. He rebounds. He blocks shots. But then sometimes in the game, he'll pick up 3 fouls. He'll pick up 3 fouls in like 45 seconds.
Basically.
Yeah. He's a mini Hassan Whiteside without the histrionics.
Right. He would fit right in with Toronto. Long, athletic. He's
If
a
he could keep
rapture
on the
waiting to
floor.
happen.
Yeah, if
I
he
wouldn't
could
put
keep
him in
on
the
floor.
category as Whiteside, though. No.
Jesus.
No,
Oof.
You know?
We'll get.
Yo,
I get.
let's move on. We got to talk about the Western Conference.
Oh boy.
You know, first. Now, I got to tell you, we're going to talk about this one first. This is like one of the most debated, talked about series that in recent times. The number 1 Los Angeles Lakers against the number 8 Portland Trailblazers. There's so much buzz on this matchup. I see you, Bishop. I see your reaction.
I think we had this conversation.
Oh, look at him. He's hot and bothered. Okay. he's damn near frothing at the mouth, wiping his mouth off. Let me just go right to him. Bishop, what do you think, man?
So let's turn to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 13. I'm gonna preach again. Yo, the Blazers are not beating the Lakers. Let me repeat that. The Blazers are not beating the Lakers.
Right.
It's like they have no matchup for LeBron. They got no matchup for LeBron. The Lakers got 3 live body 7-footers. 3 live body 7-footers. And they got Anthony Davis, which is one of those 7-footers. They got no matchup for him either. And it's like the others, great. Dame and CJ will get their numbers. They'll get their numbers. They're not averaging 30 points in the series. Melo, I love him to death. He's going to give you a 15. It's just not going to be enough. Yusuf Nurkic, he's going to be in foul trouble because I hope they don't think that he's guarding Anthony Davis. I hope they don't think he's guarding Anthony Davis. And they got nobody to guard LeBron. And if you got nobody to guard LeBron, that's going to be a problem every second he's on the court.
Right.
Well, thank God Anthony Davis don't have to guard Nurkic.
Well, that's what Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, that's what they for.
And they're going to have 15 fouls by the third quarter because this kid is just that good, Bishop.
Who, Nurkic?
Yes. He's a 20-10 guy. I told you this last week. Check his stats. I gave you a week to check his stats.
Right.
So I'm going to give you Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing but are ravaging wolves. Okay? I gave you a week to check this guy's numbers, and you didn't do it. So
wow.
They have no answer for him, Bishop. All jokes aside, they have no answer for this guy. And guess what? They wouldn't have been fighting for no damn bubble seed if he'd have been playing during the season. I tried to tell you last week, take their starting 5, Bishop, on a bad day, just going by their averages. We can only go by averages. You're talking 25, 26, 51, 20, 71, throw Melo's 15, 16 in there. We're almost at 90 already.
But
where's the Lakers getting all this defense from?
Great. I'm glad that you brought that up because do the Blazers play defense? Do they even attempt to play defense? No. That's why they were in that dogfight with Memphis with a bunch of young guns because they don't play any defense.
But they also had a lot of injuries, Bishop. They wouldn't have been fighting for no 8th seed if they was healthy. I know ifs and ands and pots and pans, the world would be a kitchen. But you can't tell me their 5 versus any 5 in the West, they weren't in the playoff without the bubble.
They are who they are.
Going by averages, and let's not forget, these same guys that we're bashing went to the conference finals last year.
What seed are they?
The 8th.
8th.
They earned it.
Yeah, they did. Actually, they actually did earn it, Bishop. I'll give you that. They did.
Earned it.
And boy, did they earn it.
All season.
They had
season. There were games hurt. There were games that they played. That they lost to subpar teams. There were games that they played during the season
because of their injuries.
Right.
No. I'm talking about with the backcourt. They still had the backcourt. They still had the backcourt. They still had Dame and McCollum. And they lost to teams that they shouldn't have lost to. And it's because they don't play any defense.
Right, but they added. Let's just be honest. They just like I said last week. We're gonna score 130. Can you score 131? We're just putting that out there to you guys. Remember, they didn't have Melo. They didn't have Nurkic. I'm telling you, Bishop, you're taking away a 19.5, 20. Let's round up. 20 point, 10 rebound guy a night who can pass. You take that away for 64 games. That's a lot to miss, guys. Come on. That'd be like saying what happened to the Lakers last year with all their injuries. And then all of a sudden LeBron said, well, we're not going to make the playoffs. I'm going to be hurt too, and I'm going to bail out. It happens. But they went to the conference finals last year, guys. Think about that.
Nurkic looks great when he doesn't have anybody that can guard him.
Well, who's going to guard him?
He's unstoppable when there's nobody to guard him. When there's another live body 7-footers out there, I don't have to block your shot. I just got to be able to stand in between you and the basket. They got guys that can do that. They got 7-footers that can do that. JaVale McGee can do that. Dwight Howard.
But so can Zach Collins and Hassan White. You got 3 live bodies for the Blazers as well. And my question is, the Blazers suck at perimeter defense. Who's hitting a jump shot for the Lakers? Who's hitting a jump shot? Because
I gave you that stat last week.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope shows up every third game. Anthony Davis hasn't ever proven anything in the playoffs except that he could flame out in New Orleans the couple of times they made it. Okay, and he showed up small, and he shows up small in fourth quarters. So when they need somebody to hit an actual 3-point shot, who's taking it?
So I told you last week, Bishop. They're last in 3-point defense and last in 3-point shooting. That's a bad combination. And guess what? Those two bigs you keep talking about, tell the truth, shame the devil, because they'll have 12 fouls. They're going to use up all of them fouls chasing Nurkic around and Collins. They're going to use up all 12 of them fouls. Trust me, because they ain't the brightest bulbs in the shed. No shade. But they do commit. Stupid fouls.
Hassan Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside, if he doesn't get the ball in the first quarter, when he posts up, he's done for the game.
He ain't getting the ball in the first quarter.
That's not what he does anymore.
Right.
That's not what he is.
He won't be in the game. We'll throw him out there and give up some fouls.
When Nurkic was out in the starting point, he only plays about
15, 20 minutes.
That was a great point you just made. Right, great point, Bishop.
When Nurkic was out and the starting center job was his, he reverted back to his Miami days because the offense runs through the guards. So they weren't focused on pitching the ball down to him in the post. And so what he did was he stopped rebounding. He started getting stupid fouls. He was getting 2 and 3 fouls just stupidly, arguing with the referees and just walking around pouting. He was that Miami Whiteside.
But that's why Zach Collins got so much playing time. That's why Zach Collins became so important. So they have legitimate 7-footers.
Right.
Everybody forgets about Zach Collins. Everybody keeps forgetting Zach Collins.
Yeah, exactly. Bishop started off well. You did, Bishop. You set us up because you said when Nurkic was hurt. Key. That's the key part of your phrase. When Nurkic was hurt.
Yes.
4 words. But here's the oxymoron to that. Nurkic ain't hurt no more. So guess what, Whiteside? You can pout from the bench. You could be in that little third row, whatever they have in that bubble, where you're up in the third row with your just whatever you're wearing. They don't need him, Bishop. That's what I'm getting at. They do not need him.
I would have to see Nurkic. I would have to see him deliver those 20 points and 15 rebounds. I would have to see him do that against the Lakers, against 7-footers that's going to be in between him. That's going to be grabbing rebounds. I'd have to see him do that.
Did you watch the playoffs last year?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm just checking.
Yes, I did.
You were doing it last year.
Huh? No,
I watched doing it last year.
against Golden State.
Well, that was a different ball game. But how many teams beat Golden State? I'm just saying. But they got to the conference finals.
I watched Draymond Green and
I don't remember the
What's
Lakers
other
in the
big
conference
kid's name
finals
with the
last
bad
year.
hip? The one who had hip replacement surgeries.
Kevin
Two.
Looney.
Looney.
Looney. I watched
Yeah.
Draymond Green and Kevon Looney run out beyond the 3-point line and double team Dame, and Dame give the ball up. I watched that for the whole series.
Mhm.
An
They had a
all-star
bad
point
series.
guard, an all-star point guard letting two power forwards trap him beyond the 3-point line. I watched that for the whole series. I was so frustrated.
But see, they developed an answer for that. Run at them now. How you gonna run? What you gonna do? Run at them, then run to Nurkic, run to McCollum, run to Collins, run to Melo. The Lakers ain't got that much youth to do all that, first and foremost. And where were the Lakers last year? They weren't in the
I got
conference
Lakers in
finals.
6.
You got who?
The Lakers in
6.
6. In
Lakers
6.
in 6.
Don't forget that 25-cent bet we have.
6.
Blazers
26 cents.
in 7.
26
Wow.
cents. I got an
Okay.
extra penny. 26 cents.
Blazers in 6. It might take them in 5. Okay, keep going to sleep. Be wary of those false prophets that come to you in sheep's clothing.
I never go against LeBron.
You must have went against him last
Portland
year.
is,
What happened to you last
Portland
year? You
is
gave him an
7.
alibi.
He was hurt.
So
Yeah, he was hurt when they was out of the playoff hunt.
hold up.
Yeah.
So Mac is with Chandler. He said Portland in 7.
Yep.
Wow.
I said 6, maybe 5.
Wow.
What's
Well,
today's date?
Yeah, 17th. I know because yesterday was my birthday.
no, that's
Happy
right. Happy
belated
birthday. Exactly.
Thank you, fellas. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, bro.
Yes, I'm old. I'm old, Bishop, so my memory sort of slips every now and then. But not with numbers.
Listen, I can't have y'all kind of pile up against my dude.
We love
Bishop.
him, man.
I gotta kind of join him.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta kind of join him. I think it's gonna be the Lakers in 6. One of our Facebook users who watches our stream says LeBron James is still the king. So yeah, I'm gonna have to ride with the Lakers as well. You know what I'm saying? Sorry guys, but I can't have all of us pile up against this dude right here. Nah, we're not gonna do that. Gotta make it somewhat even.
Tell the truth, Angus, and shame the devil. Tell the truth.
Portland in 6, maybe 5.
Nah, stop. Stop it.
All right, guys. We'll
Stop
be
it.
back. We will be
Well,
back.
listen, I could do a gentleman's bet with you as well. You know what I'm
25
saying?
cents. 25
5
cents.
cents.
Portland wins this series.
Let's raise it up, man. Let's bring it to $1.
I don't like betting.
Okay,
that's
5
one of
cents.
my. So a 25-cent bet is just a gentleman's little flip of
Okay.
the coin.
All right.
That and I don't want to take your money. 'Cause then you'll be talking about this mother.
All right. 20 a
All
quarter,
right.
25 cents.
You want to hear the
25
conversation
cents.
we're
You
gonna be
admit
having?
it.
The conversation we're gonna be having after this is like, man, I didn't see that coming, man. I like Portland showed me so much. I didn't really see that coming. Like I didn't think that Dame wouldn't be on. I didn't think that CJ wouldn't be on this game.
Exactly.
Man. If he would have hit those shots,
Right.
you know, and Nurkic was just in foul trouble. Like he just got
All right.
He was having flashbacks from the time LeBron posterized him with that power dunk coming on in a half court set.
Right.
That was him, right? That was Nurkic, right?
Man, don't come to a gunfight with a switchblade.
Oh man, here we go.
I don't
Here we
think
go.
the Lakers got enough bullets in that chamber, guys.
Nah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, brother. I'm nah.
All right.
I mean, I think it's gonna be a good matchup. I do believe the games will be very competitive and all, but nah.
Whew.
Sorry, I can only say the cream. The
Blazers
cream.
the Blazers
saying?
had problems with Memphis. The Blazers had problems with Memphis, a rookie and some sophomores, and they didn't even have their premier scorer. Jaren Jackson wasn't even there.
Right.
And Blazers had problems with them. So you mean to tell me like all of a sudden they're gonna metamorphosize into this team that is at the next gonna beat the top seed in the Western Conference?
Not gonna
They're
happen.
number 8 for a reason.
It's horses for horses. There are courses for horses. And the fact of the matter is the Grizzlies had a bunch of cats who could shoot threes. I asked this question earlier, and it hasn't been answered yet. Who shoots threes on the Lakers?
JaVale McGee.
He said JaVale McGee.
I guess we put the Blazers in the Warriors category then. I guess we put the Blazers. Warriors
they're a better 3-point shooting team than the Lakers by far.
If they're hitting.
Right.
Even if they're not, they still better.
If they hitting, it's all good. If they hitting.
I hear you. Like you said, if they're hitting. Let's go to number. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dom.
No, I was gonna say, can the Lakers score 130 without needing oxygen? I'm just curious, Bishop. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're gonna have the Blazers playing the Rockets strategy. We got 85 shots in the game. We're gonna have to shoot about 45 to 50 of those from 3-point range because we can't play D and we can't drive to the basket.
Well, they can go down low, Bishop. They can go down low. That's the difference between them and the Rockets. They can score in the paint.
I'm still not convinced Nurkic is going to be the answer.
Ooh, I can't wait for this. Oh, God.
Yeah.
When you see this guy play, you're putting some senior citizens.
Listen,
McGee
I just want my money.
Howard in his category.
All I want is my money. That's all I care about. Make sure to pay.
2 dimes in a nickel.
However you want it. I'll take 25 pennies. I don't care.
Just give me my quarter. That's all I want. Give my quarter. Okay? Yo, listen, let's move on, man. The number 2 seeds going against the number 7 seed. That'd be the Los Angeles Clippers against the Dallas Mavericks. Luka. I love you. I think you are talented beyond just incredible player. But no. Not gonna happen this year. Not gonna happen.
I got Dallas.
You got that? You want to bet on that one too?
Sure. I got Dallas.
How much would you like to lose?
We can go with another iced tea that I'll never get.
No, that was Max 611. I got you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did. Yeah. We can do another iced tea.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. How do you react?
I'd love to see that because I am not a fan of Doc Rivers, but I just don't think they have enough.
Nah.
I'm like y'all, man. Y'all got plenty of coaches y'all hate. I don't like Doc Rivers. I think he's highly overrated. Had the original Big Three, walked away with 1 chip. Come on. Really? And couldn't get out of his way before he went to Boston. Couldn't get out of his way until they got that Big Three either. Let's keep it real. I'd love to see Dallas win. I just hope it's competitive. I don't. If it goes 5, I might be happy.
That's what I'm thinking.
Serious.
5
I'd like to see Dallas get 1 win. Can they get more than 1 win?
Right. Well, you know what? The thing is, too, Doncic, he doesn't have great numbers against the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? His shooting, his field goal percentage tends to go down. What else did I just see? Excuse me for a second. Turnovers. Thank you. Yeah, against them are bad. So, unless he can do a 180 in the playoffs, which I don't think he will be able to do. He already played 3 games against them this season. It's just what it is. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So it's not going to be good for him. He'll put some numbers up, but on an overall basis, I just think it's going to go 5 games, and that's it.
What about Porzingis?
Who?
Listen, he's giving him 25 and 10. Porzingis is giving him 25 and 10. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Kleber is doing what he's supposed to do. That's a very good team. Now, I hate Rick Carlisle. So the fact that I'm rooting for Dallas says something, because if I met Rick Carlisle on the street, I'd break his jaw. Okay? That's how much I hate Rick Carlisle. And the fact that I'm caping for his team says something. But I like what Dallas has. I'm not one of those people that are upset with Porzingis because he got away from a terrible franchise. He be management until he said, "Adios, see you later." I don't have a problem with that. So if you look at, and by the way, who's winning the game tonight? Because they're playing right now.
69 to 66.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
They are?
I'm just checking.
Halftime.
I'm just checking.
Damn.
Halftime.
I forgot they were playing.
Yeah, same
but
here.
That means nothing. Check
Exactly.
in the fourth quarter. Check in the fourth quarter.
All right.
Fourth quarter. So
Wow.
the Mavericks, Doncic he's crafty. So he's gonna get some numbers because he's crafty.
Right. For sure.
It might not be pretty. He's gonna
Right.
get numbers. It might be ugly, but he's gonna get numbers.
For sure.
Porzingis, dude, you 7'6" and you getting your shot blocked by 6'5" guys. So I'm in the low post. So
Right.
I'm not. My 7'6" guy is my best 3-point shooter.
That's the function of the coach. That's a point. And Rick Carlisle said that when he got there, that because people have asked him, why is it Porzingis in the post? And Rick Carlisle said, because I don't want him in the post, which is another reason I hate Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle has specifically told him not to go into the post. So he's actually listening to his coach, and we're going to fault him for listening to the coach?
So with Dallas, you got two things that to me, that if you choke them off, that basically stuffs the life out of that team. You stop Hardaway, and you make Porzingis do stuff that he's not comfortable with, and you come away with the victory. Yeah,
He's still in the league?
Yeah.
Wow.
Played really well for Dallas.
He gets buckets for Dallas. He gets buckets for Dallas, and he gets them at crucial points.
Yep.
Wow.
There's no pressure on him. There's no pressure on him, so he can just come out and play.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I think the days of thinking Porzingis is going to be a low post player, I don't care who his coach is, that's not happening, guys. He don't have the physique. And sometimes you just got to go with somebody's strength. I mean, if he's a better perimeter shooter than a low post player, then you traded for him. So you knew this before you traded for him. So, I mean, unless you're going to reinvent the wheel and he's going to gain 40, 50 pounds overnight, you take your good with your bad. I mean, he's a decent shooter. If he gets 20 and 10, this might get a little interesting. I give the Clippers the edge because they play better defense. Hence the reason Doncic has 7 turnovers in the first half. I just looked that up. That's a lot of turnovers for one half, and your team is winning.
Wow. That second unit for the Clippers comes out and blasts every team. They come out and blast every team. They got no answers for that second unit. No answers for that second unit. And
Lou ain't getting the wings, so he ain't gonna be that good in the bubble because they kept him from his wings, so he ain't gonna be that good.
Man, leave my man alone, man.
I'll tell you what.
Leave my man alone.
The Clippers giving up 69 points in the first half. That's not a good sign. That's not their normal forte.
Yeah, but they only 3 points. They only down 3. So
but you gave up 69 points.
It could just as easily be 48 to 45. It's only 3 points. If they gave up 69 and they were down by 15, then it's like, well, wait a minute. Like, what's going on here? But it's 6 points. I mean, it's 3 points, 69 and 63. Paul George can go off and hit 4 straight threes, and you back on top. And then you just grind it out for the rest of the game.
Are you really counting on Paul George? I mean, Paul George, who has come up small so many times. That's who and that's why I don't like the Clippers. Because listen, Kawhi's gonna be Kawhi. Lou Williams gonna be Lou Williams. Montrezl Harrell's gonna be Montrezl Harrell. I don't trust Paul George one iota to show up when he needs to show up. Because matter of fact, tell me the last series that Paul George showed up when he was supposed to.
Well, you got to think, like, if you're asking him to be number one, he's not number one.
No,
he's not the number one guy.
No.
If you're asking him to be 2, 3, depending on what night it is, he's that guy. He's that 2, 3 guy every single night. He's not the number one guy.
No.
A Swiss Army knife.
So when he was with Indiana, they were asking him to be the number one guy. They were asking him to be the number one guy. He's not that.
Right. No.
When he was with the Thunder for that short season, They wanted him to be the number one guy. He's not the number one guy. The Clippers, he's second, third some nights. So it fits right in his wheelhouse. And he's been shooting lights out. He played D. I'm not a big Paul George fan, but in that scheme that they have in the Clippers, he fits right in. He fits in there perfectly. There's no pressure on him.
Their numbers aren't as great as I thought. They average giving up 110 a night. I mean, this is the NBA, so that puts them in at least mid-level of the NBA.
Right.
You know, it's kind of weird. The Pacers and Toronto are the only team. They're the two best, points per game. Opponents' points per game. They're 1 and 2.
Right.
And they're at 105, 106. Everybody else is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16. So, I mean, 110 points, and I think they only average 113 on offense. So, I don't think Dallas could win. No, I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, for the most part, I think the Clippers, what they do is they let you hang around. Unless they get a big lead in the beginning of the game. They'll let you hang around, and then in the fourth quarter, they clamp down. And then you're wondering what happened by the end of the game because you're down by like 10, 15 points and you can't seem to get anything going on offense because everything is like a steal, but you're only getting one opportunity at the basket. I saw the Clippers in the second unit. Then you feel like you're getting some relief because the starter's off the court. And then the second unit comes in and is worse than the starters. They're killing you with the pick and roll and the isolation.
Yep. Well said, brother. Well said. Let's do some more. Moving on. The number 3 ranked Denver Nuggets going against the number 6 ranked Utah Jazz. I'm gonna rock with the Nuggets. I have to. I have to rock with them. No disrespect towards Utah, but the Joker. You know what I'm saying? You got my man Jamal Murray, and of course Dominic's boy Michael Porter Jr. out there doing their thing. You understand? So, one thing that might be impotent is the defensive play of Rudy Gobert going against the Joker. You understand? Actually, Gobert has actually slowed down Joker in 3 meetings this year. You know what I'm saying? Which is true, and that might be a significant factor. You know what I'm saying? If he plays and brings the Joker down a level or so, that might weigh some type of favoritism towards Utah. You know what I'm saying? But can it happen? Will it happen? I don't know. My gut says it won't happen. You know what I'm saying? It might be effective against them, maybe a couple of games, but in the overall grand scheme of things, I think Denver will come out of this victorious.
Yeah, without Conley, the Utah's got no shot because they gave up 57 points to Donovan Mitchell today, and Utah still lost by 10. Okay, or was it 12? It was double digits they lost by. And Mitchell hit for 57. 57. Wow.
Right.
Okay, and they still lost by double digits in overtime.
That's crazy.
And so gave up 135.
Without Mike Conley, I can't see Utah winning.
Right.
Plus, they're missing that shooter that got hurt. Bogdanovic, whatever his name is. They're missing a few pieces. And you know what? Gobert played a hell of a game against Joker today. And he still ended up with 29 and 10.
There you go.
And 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks.
There you go.
Like another day at the office for him.
Yeah.
And that's against probably the best defensive center in the league. And they were against each other. I don't know if any of y'all saw that game. It was a great game.
Yeah,
it was until overtime, and then Nugget and Porter didn't have a great game. He only went like 5 for 13, maybe 12 points.
Right.
So he didn't have a great game.
Right.
But on that team, even with a bad game, he had 8 rebounds. Porter.
Yeah.
I just think they're overmatched. And then again, we're cheating because the Jazz already lost 1 game. So, but if they go 5, that's a consolation prize. That's me.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Max 611. Bishop.
Yeah, I hate both those teams. I hope they both lose.
God.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I hate Utah.
Right.
Denver doesn't play any defense. It's like, yeah, neither one of them are going anywhere. So it's just
Okay.
like,
Okay. Now, let me just. I gotta do a quick. I gotta do a quick PSA. Listen, we need to make donations. This is a serious thing. We need to make some serious donations to Max 611 and his internet provider or computer.
Man,
You know,
leave
I
Mac
wanna-
alone.
No, I can't help it. I got to throw a couple of dollars in, and I need you guys to throw a few in yourselves because I'm tired of fade ins and fade outs with this guy. I'm sorry.
Damn. Where we send the money, y'all? You gotta
Yeah.
Cash App.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't know, man. I don't know. We got to do something about this. It's all good. Still love you, brother, but just got to do something, man. It's crazy.
get your bandwidth up.
You know what I mean?
I don't mean to crack, but I don't be knowing if Mark's staring at us because he's just mad at us or he just
No,
froze
it's
up.
frozen. The screen is frozen. He moved a little bit.
Leave Mac alone.
I can't help it. It's too easy, man. It's just so easy. I can't help myself.
See?
You know what?
I don't know if
Yeah,
he's mad at us. He's staring at us again.
He'll get over it. He'll be all right. Listen, time is moving. We gotta get ready to break out. But before I do, we're gonna go with the Rockets against the Thunder. I understand that Russell Westbrook is gonna miss quite a few games in this series. For that reason alone, I'm taking the Thunder.
Yep.
Mm.
Just for that reason alone. That's just what it is. And no need for me to get long-winded on this. He's out for a few games. And that favors OKC. Boom. That's it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know how
D'Antoni
many.
Clown, I take the Thunder.
I don't know how many games he's gonna miss.
Mhm.
But if he misses 2, they better hope to come out 1-1.
Yeah.
Or they're done. Or they're done when he comes back.
Exactly. You know?
Can't split.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be at least 2, from what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? It's gonna be at least 2. So
Yeah, it's a quad.
yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah. He's gonna miss mess around, might miss the whole damn series, to be perfectly honest.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't that be ironic that Chris Paul is the guy that normally is the one missing
Right.
at the end of the season,
Wouldn't that be something?
and here he is going against his old team?
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
It's still early. It's still early.
Here we go.
Oh, you saying he's gonna get hurt, Bishop?
It's possible.
Yeah, it never fails.
Yeah.
It never fails. It never fails. Never fails. The hammy, it never fails.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. That's what it's gonna be. So yeah, I'm just not impressed by Houston, you know?
No.
That trend will not stop anytime soon. I'm sorry, with Harden and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just not
Hard to
impressed.
watch.
Yeah,
I just find their game so hard to watch, guys.
Mhm.
Most fans would say, "Oh man, it's a sight." No,
No, it's
it's
not.
just hard to watch. I mean,
It is. I agree.
a guy dribbling 21.5 seconds out of the 24-second clock.
Right.
That, if they're not on the break with Westbrook running, they're doing the same thing they was doing when they didn't have Westbrook.
Exactly.
Dribble, hoist up a 3 or throw a bad pass, and somebody got to shoot with 0.5 seconds.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
So I'm not impressed by that. You know what I'm saying? Again, they're not gonna make it out the first round. I'm sorry. No. Even if Chris Paul does get hurt.
I think Houston could get out the first round.
Wait, was that Max 611?
Yes,
What?
it was.
Holy shit.
What?
Wow. Okay. I'm amazed.
Yeah, I think they could get out the first round, but
Mhm.
second round they going home. And it'll be tough against OKC. OKC, and it'll be a 7-game series.
Wow. Okay. 7-game series, huh?
I agree with Mac.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's going to
Yeah.
guard Harden? Who's going to guard Harden?
Who cares? He comes up small in the playoffs no matter what. Who cares?
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, Bishop,
Yeah. There you go.
since you're always talking about Dame Lillard,
That's true.
Yeah. I'm not a James Harden fan. I'm not a James
Mhm.
Harden fan, but he's the league MVP this season. He
Huh?
is the league MVP.
No.
He's the league
Whoa.
MVP.
You know,
Whoa.
no.
Whoa.
What's his
Stop.
What?
What's
You
the
wait till the
I
end
wouldn't
and
even
drop
take
that
smoking?
grenade.
I
You
wouldn't
what's
even
his
wait
take
till
him
the
over
end of the
LeBron.
show to drop that grenade? Come on, son.
I wouldn't even take him over LeBron. If it ain't
Right.
Antetokounmpo,
What's the
LeBron,
stat?
not Harden.
What's the stats?
I don't care what his stats are. I know he scored a lot of points, he took a lot
Right.
of shots, shot a lot of threes. The same old story.
Nah.
And this year,
No.
you know what,
Look
Bishop?
at the
This is the
numbers.
good part. This is the good part about the bubble.
If
He
you look
didn't
at
have
the
a
numbers,
chance to politic for the MVP like he does every year.
I'm
He
saying
out
if you
there
look
with
at
his
the
vote
numbers,
Harden signs. Nah.
I'm
If
gonna
you
be
look
right
at the
back.
numbers-
I'm gonna take a look at the numbers, like you said. I
if
want
you
to
look
see
at the
this.
numbers, if you look at the numbers, his numbers are the best numbers.
Really?
Individual players. Yep. He's averaging more points. He's averaging the most points in the league.
Okay, and his team would have been the 5th seed with that, and they would have been the 5th seed without him. So how was he an MVP?
Dude, if he didn't score in the Western Conference, that's a pretty big deal. Scoring 34 points a game when teams are focusing their defense around stopping you, that's a pretty big deal in the league, and especially in that Western Conference.
He is
Every
not
team-
the most valuable player. That
No.
team,
all his
that
numbers are
team
hollow.
with Russell Westbrook by itself is good enough to be a 5 seed in the Western Conference.
Nah,
I gotta agree.
nah,
I gotta agree, Bishop. I gotta agree. I have to agree.
Which Russell Westbrook? Which one? Which one?
Huh?
We watched Russell Westbrook make the playoffs in Oklahoma City with a bunch of nobodies as an 8th seed. So you put him in that offense that D'Antoni's running. Well, I hate D'Antoni, but you put him in that D'Antoni offense in the Western Conference, that's a 5 seed team.
Well, he got to be able to shoot and not turn the ball over.
No, what he's got to do is do what he does and let the other guys shoot all the threes who've been shooting threes, which is all they doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't rock with that. Nah.
No.
I'm sorry. Brother.
Their system is going to come back to haunt them.
Right.
Oh yeah,
As
most
well.
definitely, most definitely, most
It's
definitely.
just that
But
simple.
again,
It does every year.
if you think about every game that they played, every team has got Harden's name on top of that blackboard, on top of that wetboard, saying we got to stop this guy. They double teaming him, triple teaming him, and somehow, some way, he still winds up averaging 34 points a game.
Until the playoffs.
But his team still moves into the
but
7-game series.
the MVP. But I'm saying the MVP is for the regular season.
Yeah.
Right.
But
That's
I can't put him ahead of Freak
Ahead of who?
or LeBron. I can't put him because
Well, they're
you
not
take-
giving it to LeBron anymore. They're not giving it to LeBron anymore because politics, because they want to pass the torch on to somebody else. They're not giving it to LeBron anymore. Giannis, it's like, dude, you came back with the same thing. You came back with the same thing, and fine, you guys had 54 wins this season. That's great, but you're getting eliminated. You're getting eliminated, just like the Rockets are. You're getting eliminated. So if I look at the numbers, Harden's numbers are better than Giannis's numbers.
the points.
Okay, hold on. Without Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks are maybe an 8th seed. Maybe an 8th seed without
Maybe.
Giannis.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. Without Harden, the Rockets are about a 5 seed. So who's more valuable?
In the Eastern Conference, you're saying? In the Eastern Conference, Come on.
In the Western Conference, the Bucks don't even make the freaking playoffs without Giannis. In the Eastern Conference, they're barely an 8th seed without Giannis.
No, I'm saying in the Eastern Conference, they're number one. But again, it's regular season. They're built for regular season. They're built for the regular season.
And take Giannis off that team. Take Giannis off the Bucks in the Eastern Conference. They're an 8th seed, maybe.
Check this out, Bishop. Bishop, check this out.
Okay.
Points, Harden, 34. Giannis, 29.5.
Okay.
Harden assists, 6. Greek Freak, 5.6. Rebounds, 5. Giannis, 13.6. PER, who's number one in the league in PER? Not that I believe in that stat. It's an NBA thing, guys.
What is that?
The PER.
Player efficiency.
Player efficiency rating. He's number one.
What does that mean?
It's player efficiency rating. Yeah.
What
It's
does that mean?
them new analytic shit. Oh, I didn't mean to curse. I didn't mean to curse that you Bishop.
He wears his socks. He wears his socks at the same height.
I didn't make it up, Bishop. I didn't make it up. But when you look at the numbers, other than points, and Giannis don't have the ball in his hands as much as Harden.
Exactly.
He's only got 0.4 assists less.
Right.
But he blows them out in rebounds, and he's only 4 points behind them in points.
Right. And when
And
Milwaukee plays, when Milwaukee plays, the teams are not geared towards stopping Giannis. They basically concede that. So they stop everybody else. They basically give Giannis a free run to the hoop from as soon as he gets past half court. Because if he's scoring, that means everybody else is not scoring. So
that's a hell of a recipe to win 50-something games out of 60-something games.
During the regular season, yes. During the regular season. That's the bait.
That's all we're talking about.
During the regular season, that's the bait. But when the playoffs time comes and he's trying to, gallivant across half court and guys are stepping in front of him, then it's just like it's like static. It's like max bandwidth.
Oh Lord Jesus!
You did it. Hey! He did it. You invited me.
That's true.
And I know he can't rebut. So I'm saying.
Oh man, y'all guys are cruel.
Hilarious, man. Hilarious. Like I said, man. Yeah, I before I break out, Bishop, I think you're off on that one, man. I'm sorry.
His stats is better.
Sorry.
Better.
Huh?
His Harden's stats are better.
No, they're not. I just gave them to you. They're not. And according to the NBA,
6 assists
to 30.
Right.
34 points, 6 assists against 20
5.6
and 5.6. So whose numbers are better?
Rebounds are -7.
Okay,
and
but
Harding has the ball in his hands more, so he should have more than 6 assists. He takes more shots than the Freak.
Exactly.
He takes more threes than anybody in NBA history.
Harden's had
so his
50.
His numbers are a little inflated. LeBron almost averaged a triple-double.
He's had how many 50-point games this season?
Great. I'm not taking that away from him.
And where is that gonna lead him to the promised land? I don't think so.
Nope. It's just shiny, and that's what the MVP is. Shiny stats.
He didn't have enough. He didn't get a chance to politic for it this year. So
right.
Well,
no. And they both had 40. Guess what? All of those numbers you just gave, and they had as many wins as OKC.
Right.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Whoa. 44 wins.
But that's the West.
OKC had 44 wins.
That's in the West.
Yes, in the West. They both play. Well, one plays. Yeah, they both play in the West.
Yes.
Houston and
how many did how many did Milwaukee have?
54, right?
53.
So they had 9 more wins.
Mm-hmm.
They had 9 more wins in a weaker conference. They had 9 more wins. and I still score more points. And the defense every single night is geared towards stopping me.
Yeah, and somehow or another, you only got 44 wins.
John
Right.
Moran should have been the MVP anyway.
It's a tougher conference. Say what?
You could say what you want about conferences. The two best defensive teams are in the East.
True.
And guess what? He plays for not one of them, so that means the defenses are geared toward him. He plays less minutes, he takes less shots, and his team won more games. But then again,
MVP.
OKC, without all of them great stats you gave us, had as many wins as Houston.
Right.
With nobody shooting 8,001 threes, dribbling the ball for 21 seconds, they had the same amount of wins. With no real superstar in their team other than maybe Chris Paul.
Right.
Wow.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to have to end this one. The time is running out, but it's all good. But I want to thank you guys for joining. Bishop, Dom, Big Chandler, my man.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for tuning, for checking us out and being on with us. Again, I got to throw this out one more time. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please, let's get Mac 611 some real internet service / a laptop that works. So, you can cash at me at $ or Joan. Okay. So we could get this.
How they gonna cash
going.
at you?
Hey,
Yeah.
What if I told you that there was a radio show host who had no internet? What if I told you that he froze all the time?
Dude.
And you know what? What's weird is I'm doing this on an iPad outside.
Outside. I noticed
my
that.
router is, I don't know where that damn thing is at, but it's like a few blocks down.
Look at that.
Y'all don't have Spectrum in New York?
Yeah.
Wow,
I believe so.
it.
I got Spectrum.
You got to upgrade. You got to
Spectrum.
upgrade, Mark.
Get your bandwidth up.
Because
Get
they
your
got the
bandwidth
best, from what they say, and I can only attest to it because of mine, they have the best internet.
Get your bandwidth up.
Exactly.
If I took my iPad now and walked y'all to my router, it would take me a couple of minutes to get there. Because I'm actually, y'all can see I'm outside. Well, you can't tell today, but normally I have it going the other way. I'm actually outside. It's a room, but I'm outside. So I'm going through how many doors?
We have to get my brother to stop using the 2 cans with the string.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to do something about this, man.
I am paying $69 just for the internet.
Hey, listen, that's all right. That's not too bad.
Considering the service I get. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm willing to chip in.
Thank you very much. Okay, because we got to get this guy going.
Mark, Mac. Mac,
what's up?
Get your neighbor to update bandwidth.
Tapping this.
Yeah. That's secondary. Secondary.
Yo, hilarious, man.
Give him $20. Tell him to up the bandwidth, yo.
You might be able to tap into mine from New York to here and get better service. I don't know.
Oh man, that is too funny. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mac.
Well, at least he didn't cut me off today. Thank God for that. So I'll say that. I'll give you some props for that.
He didn't have the ability to. He didn't have the ability to.
He was probably trying.
He didn't have the ability to.
Every time
exactly.
When he went to say something, it went
glitch.
He's doing it now. Hey, he moved quick. Oh, I love you,
Buffering.
Word.
Yeah, remember that? Oh God.
But so listen, I want to thank y'all. Man. I'm up here crying now.
Oh,
listen, let me break out. All right. Thanks, gentlemen, for being on with me. And we'll see you soon. Okay, not Friday because I gotta work. We'll see you soon. All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
All right.
That was funny.